Hi everyone, this is Heather from Weddings by Heather and the Flourish.Academy, and I'm here with my good friend Anne. Welcome, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
We just need to wait for a moment for someone to jump on and let us know if you can hear us and see us, and then we'll get started. And my messy bun doesn't even fit in the front one. It was a while. This kind of hair was, like, I don't feel like washing my hair today. That's what this is about. Leanne, can you let me know if you can hear us? Leanne's probably on her way here. Because you're here for the SEO workshop today.
Yes, I am.
Before we get started, tell me about why you came to the workshop.
Well, one of the reasons, and I know it's a question later, is because of so many photographers entering the market, I'm on top of SEO for Google right now, I think, for Pittsburgh newborn photographers. Last time I checked I was. And I want to make sure I stay there because there are so many people entering the market now.
Yeah, you are, because I checked.
Oh, thank you.
I do keyword searches all the time, and I see who's coming up, and yeah, you are on top, so you're good. Okay, for those that don't know you, could you tell us how you got started in photography and what you did prior to photography?
Okay. So before photography, I worked in HR for a nonprofit, and I really, really liked it. I had no plans of leaving. And then when me and my husband got engaged, I was looking for a church, and I saw your pictures.
Ooh.
And so that's how I found you.
Was that a Google search?
It was a Google search. Google image.
Oh, for your church.
I was looking, I don't know. And I saw a church I liked, and it was your picture, and I was like, must have Heather. So that was the first thing I booked. And I set the date out for like 2 years because I had to save up the money.
Yeah, you had a long engagement.
It was a long engagement. So I stalked you for 2 years. And then I kind of just like gained the appreciation for photography, and I knew you taught from your blog. So then after we got married, we went to Jamaica for our honeymoon.
Yes.
And I had my little point shoot, and I was so happy I was going to take all these good pictures. And I got back, I'm like, this doesn't do it justice. This isn't right.
Yeah, it's not what I saw. Right, right.
So I emailed you. I'm like, what should I do? And you're like, here's a good camera. You gave me a list. You gave me choices. You're like, here's some classes. So I started learning. And
I said, get a big girl camera.
Yeah, and I didn't even know. I didn't even know what that was. Like, I had no idea.
Like
you
SLR.
said DSLR?
Right.
I don't know. I am clueless. I think my question in my head was probably just like composition. Like, that's probably all I really was thinking. And then it blew, like, you know, the whole world opens up.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
What was your first camera? Which one did you
The Nikon D5000, I think. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved that camera.
Yeah.
And then I sold it because I needed a full frame.
Right.
You know, we shot a wedding in a dark church. I shot with you one time, and you're like, you need a full frame.
Yeah.
Get a full frame.
You know what? I do want to talk about that real quick. That church that we shot in, we shot a wedding. It was September 10th, 2011. You know how I remember that date? September 10th is
your
my
birthday.
Yes! It's my birthday eve. I remember. But we went into quite possibly the darkest church in Western Pennsylvania. It's in Butler. It's called St. Paul's. And I remember I had a D700. And I was telling you, I'm shooting at ISO 3200, and it is barely enough. It was so dark. And at that point, it was like, yeah, you need a full frame.
Yeah.
But you're still working your job at this point.
Yes. And I have a 3-month-old son.
Yes.
My first child. And I was stressed. So stressed. Beyond belief. And you were like, well, leave your job. Just do it. And I was like, all right, now I do my job.
And you know, it really went just like you described. I will never forget, we were in the car, we had just finished the portraits of the bride and groom, and you're in the back, and it was so fun, you know, and you're like adrenaline rush, right? And I'm like, you're really good at this. Why don't you just quit your job? Just quit. I don't know what you're waiting for. Just quit your job. And I was kind of saying it like tongue-in-cheek, but inspirational. And like literally Monday, you quit your job.
Yeah, I talked to my husband, and he was like, yeah. And I like looked at the numbers, and you know when you start out and you're charging so little at first, and I'm just like, well, I was charging like $125 for a CD, like so little. And I'm like, well, if I could just do like 1 or 2, I can get by. We can get by, you know, if I quit my job. And, you know, then I quit, and we got by. And
you got by. And more. But you couldn't have predicted that. But when you first buy that DSLR, you weren't thinking you were going to be a professional photographer.
No. Like I said, I got my Jamaica pictures. I'm like, this doesn't look right. This is not what Jamaica looks like.
Right. Yeah, it was prettier than that.
So I just wanted to learn, and I knew we were going to have kids. Like, we got married in June, and I was pregnant by the end of August. So I knew I wanted to learn and just take pictures of my own kids. That was my that was my plan.
That was your goal. Yeah.
So, but then my sister ended up getting married that September.
Yeah,
right?
I remember.
Little wedding. She didn't hire any vendors, and I was like, well, I'll take the pictures. So I took the pictures with my camera. I posted some of them on Facebook, and that kind of got people like, oh,
you take photos?
Yeah, you take photos. So then somebody else contacted me from that, and she was like, I'm getting married in a very similar location. It was outdoor, like at a farm next summer. She's like, would you do it? So, opportunity knocks. So I got up a contract. I said yes. I learned. I took all your classes that year.
Everything.
All your classes that year.
Yes, you did.
And prepared myself. In the meantime, I had my son. And so that was like the first actual wedding I shot. And it was pretty. It was outside. If it was in a church, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah. You didn't get your full frame yet at that point? No. Right. So one of my questions is, how do you get your first clients? But they found
me. Yeah. We had good college friends, and one of my husband's roommates from college, he knew this girl that was getting married, and she was looking for photographers. She must have been on budget, and he was like, oh, here. And she saw the wedding, and it was really similar. Like my sister and her groom and my sister's groom at the time, like they actually kind of looked alike. And it was and so it was like
they could relate.
Yeah, they could relate. And so she's like, yeah, that's good, and it worked out well.
Did you charge for that one?
I did. I charged, I want to say around $1,000 maybe.
Yeah.
I charged.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For not having any real experience.
So if there's one word I could use to describe you, it would be fearless. And you just make things happen. You were like, okay, I'm going to quit my job. And by the way, when she called me on Monday morning and said, hey, I just put in my notice, I quit my job, I was like, whoa. Wait, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. I'm like, cheering you on, and then I'm like, oh, wait, you just quit your job? And you just did it. But so you quit your job, you have a new baby, and you're going to make some money in photography.
So I was posting my pictures of my son then. He was like, when I was on my maternity leave, he was like a month old. And so I was posting pictures and I'm on maternity leave. I'm not making any money. I might as well
do something.
Make money. And I was charging really minimal, like $125 or something. And so while I was on my maternity leave, I did probably 10 sessions just for people that were friends on Facebook.
That's a lot. Yes.
Yeah. And so it was a lot to have a new baby and do that. And I was stressed. And so then I went back to my job after my maternity leave. That's in that week is when we shot that wedding. And I was like, I am so stressed out there. I don't know what to do. My mom would bring my son home from after she babysat him. I'm like, and you know how when you're a new mom, you're kind of like, oh, I want to see my kid. I was like, no, I'm not ready for him yet. Too much. So then I quit, and then things got a lot better. Because
you knew it was not sustainable. What you were doing was not sustainable.
Yeah. My schedule booked up really fast, and I would look at my calendar. I'm like, wow, I have a lot of stuff already on there. How am I going to have time to take care of my baby?
Right. A new baby and a pretty new marriage.
Yeah.
Right? And you're trying to do all of this. How did you manage all of that? How did you...
Not well. I don't think I did very well.
Yeah, nobody does in the beginning.
Stressed. I don't know. Not sleeping very much.
So
my mom helps some. My husband is really helpful.
Yeah.
I did good family support.
Yeah, you do. But you're doing, at that point, you're photographing anything. So if somebody asks you for babies, families, weddings... So you did all of that. That's 2011 heading into 2012, right? Then how many weddings did you end up with that year?
The first full year, I had 20. That was a lot.
Weddings.
Too much.
And you were doing it almost every Saturday. And I remember you coming to my house one day to borrow a lens or something. You had Braden. He was just little. It was in the fall. He was maybe a year old.
We sat him on the hay.
Yeah, we took a picture. and I'm like, hey, how the wedding's going? Because your work was amazing. The photos were on par with people who've been doing it for years. I was really blown away, and you were like, this is not really for me.
Yeah.
So you had put advertising on the Knot, right?
Yeah. And that was good. The Knot worked at that time. I don't know if it still does.
For some it does. It depends on the market. For many it doesn't. It's so expensive right now. It's $2,600 a year.
Oh, wow.
So, that's more than $200 a month.
Yeah.
I have a couple of clients that it works really well for because their bride is on the Knot. If your bride is not there, no, it's not going to work. It's highly variable.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money to spend. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And then, so you pulled it.
Yeah, so I pulled it, and then, so I still was getting some just referrals and everything.
Because they loved you, and they loved the photos.
So the next 2 years, I said no. I was like, I have a friend, Heather, who's great. That's who I learned from. That's who did my wedding. And I would just send everybody to you, or I have a couple of other girls I would send them to as well.
Yeah.
So as long as I was giving them a good referral.
Right. You felt good about it.
Yeah. And so then the next 2 years I just did 5. And even that was a relief, but it was still too much for me. So after that I was like, nope, forget it. Cut it all out.
Yeah. You pulled the menu items from your website. I mean, you would have to dig really deep to find the weddings. They're there because I looked.
Are they?
Yeah, I looked, but you'd have to go really deep. And I looked at them and I thought, they're beautiful. Your weddings were beautiful. And it was almost kind of like a shame that you didn't love it, but not really, because you have to do what's good for your soul.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't working for you,
I would stress.
It's very stressful.
All year, I'd be like, oh, I have a wedding in 3 months coming up, and I would stress about it for those 3 months.
So it's not happening.
For me, it wasn't worth the money. Any money was not worth it at that point.
And you know what? You're really sure of yourself. A lot of people get a little bit, you're like, oh, maybe I should take the weddings. Maybe I should learn. And who am I to turn away work? But you were very steadfast, and you were like, no, I'm not going to do it because it's not working for me.
Yeah.
That's a really good quality to have. You're very decisive, quick. Most successful people I know are like you, are very decisive. Like, I like it, do it. I don't do it, and then move on. And you don't regret it. You just
no, I don't regret it.
Right. And then at what point were you like, okay, 100% newborns?
I like really the first couple of newborns I actually did was I think they were in 2002 of January, and I just really liked them. I just I didn't stress that much. Like, they're so controllable. I know that sounds weird, thinking of a newborn baby that you can control it, but compared to a wedding where you don't know what the weather's going to be, you don't know what the traffic is going to be, you don't know where to park, you don't know if a family member is going to go rogue on you. With a newborn,
a church lady.
Yeah. Something's going to run overtime, you have no control, and then you have to edit 500 pictures or more, you know?
Yeah, or 3,000, but yeah.
With a newborn, I was like, I can control the temperature, the time of day,
the setup,
the noise. They come to me. I don't have to worry about traffic. If they're a little bit late, that's whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
So I could do them in the morning. That was the biggest thing for me, was I didn't want to work evenings. I didn't want to work weekends. I wanted to have a normal person schedule. I wanted to be with my families. In the morning or in the evening and the weekends. So newborns were perfect. Yeah.
So you prioritized based on your values. You decided, this is what I want to do. That's actually a technique I teach in boot camp, is formulating your ideal schedule.
Yeah.
And so you said, my ideal schedule is I'm going to work in the morning so the kids can have childcare, and then I'm like a normal person. I want to be a normal, I don't want to be working all hours. I want to stay up all night.
Right.
I don't want to,
Exactly.
Yeah. You thrive on structure.
Yes.
Routine. As do your kids, for sure.
Yeah.
So you want to give that to them. Was there a particular point where you saw an inflection in your business where you were like, wow, it's really taken off? I mean, it happened really fast for you.
It happened right away. Yeah.
What advice would you give to people that are starting out? And what do you attribute that to?
I think it was actually striking while the iron was hot. And I don't know if you can replicate this anymore, but back when I started, it was Facebook was normal.
Yeah.
There was no business pages yet. Everybody, if you posted something on Facebook, everybody that you were friends with saw it.
Yeah.
So that was really big for me.
Yeah.
I think 'cause that's where I got just pretty much all my clients at first, was just my Facebook friends. And that we were all in the same stage of our lives. I was starting to do weddings, and all my friends and their friends and their friends were all getting married, So that helped, because they could just see me organically from that.
You were in your target market. Because when you're having babies, all of your friends are having babies. And then all it takes is a couple, and you do, and then their friends see it, and their friends see it, and they're so cute. I have this picture of Charlotte up at the beginning. This was a client of mine. I photographed their wedding. Actually, my friend Leanne did their engagement. I did their wedding, and you did their newborn. Isn't that so fun?
Circle.
And I love it.
The circle.
Yeah, and we all were able to refer, and everybody wins. But what do you think about the saturation of photographers? Is that an issue for you, or what are your thoughts?
I think it is what it is. What am I going to do about it? I hide everybody on Facebook. Even if I like your page, I've probably hidden you, except for a few really good people that I like to just follow, because they do stuff other than newborns too. I try not to pay attention.
You don't pay attention? No.
I really try not to. Unless I start seeing a dip in my own stuff, then I might have to pay attention a little bit, and okay, maybe you gotta see, run a Google ad or Facebook ad or something like that,
But really, have you? I mean, many dips? Not really.
Not really, not really.
No.
There was one time where I really significantly raised my prices from here to here, and slight dip at that point, but that was by design.
Yeah, yeah,
You taught me,
right?
You know, like work harder, not smarter, or work blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. What I said was, are you busier than you want to be? If you're busier than you want to be, if the answer to that is yes, there's only one solution: raise your prices. It's supply and demand. It's very basic.
Exactly.
So it had nothing to do.
Why would I say no?
Right.
If my prices could weed people out for me, then I'm still making the good money.
And with fewer people.
Yeah.
Would you ever have dreamed that you would be this successful in doing this well?
I don't know. No. I still fear going out of business every day. I really do. Do you? Like, I still feel like people are just going to stop emailing me every day.
You know what? I think about that, and I think, but if it happens, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just, and you would too. It would just be something different, you know, like the saturation in the market. Okay, there's a lot of photographers. Okay, I have to do something different, better. I have to add more value.
That's true. Yeah.
And you would do the same thing. But I've never, as long as I've seen you in this business, I've never seen you slow. You've always had more clients than you even sometimes would want. Yeah. So I don't think that that's ever going to happen. And
I hope.
No.
But like you were talking about, like being in your target market, that it worries me a little bit. Like, I'm getting older. I'm not having any more babies. You know, like, am I going to age out of this? You know what I mean?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I actually have said that to people. Maybe even Leanne, I said this to recently, but I was like, listen, I'm older now. I used to be my target market when I was in my early 30s. I was my target market. Yeah. But now that I'm 41 and a half, I'm not.
Yeah, and are you even going to be that interested in it?
Right. Yeah. And so do I become irrelevant? It depends on what you want, you know, and how much work you want. You can get whatever you want. If you decide you want to be in your target market, you can. But I think that with you, it's then just wisdom and experience. Yeah. Which still makes people drawn to you because they want your photos. And how do you feel? I had talked about this a little bit last week about, you know, so many photographers, and we get inspiration from other photographers. When you're photographing newborns in a studio, there's really only so much you can do.
That's so true. There's only so many safe ways to pose a newborn. Right. So you just have to kind of give a better experience. You can get more props, but you know.
Wait, we can't miss that. She said, give a better experience. So you see, everybody puts the baby on the blanket and the beanbag and you shape them and it's beautiful, right? And everybody can do that. So you have to differentiate yourself with the experience. Yeah. And you know, I had talked about this last week and I said, the Steal Like an Artist book, I had said that, you know, we didn't invent anything, that there's nothing new under the sun, which is actually biblical. But I'm a fan of people being inspired and looking at other photographers. I do not condone plagiarism. Right. You know, if somebody sees something and does the exact same thing, yes, that's a problem. That's plagiarism. I'm not okay with that. But if people are being inspired, putting their own spin on it and bringing their own personality, then it's a completely different experience.
It's the only thing you can't copy. You can't copy anything else.
Yeah, you can't. They can't copy you. Right. You are who you are. And why do you think your clients love you? Like, what do you think it is that they enjoy about the experience?
Well, I think I'm good at it. Like, their babies, they usually don't cry. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing with a baby. I can soothe them and it's good. And the parents, my sessions don't usually last more than an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Word. Oh my goodness.
So,
which just shows you what a pro you are, because if I do it, it's like at least 3 hours. I'm not that good at the soothing.
Yeah, after a while you get it down. And then I'm fast too. I have a really fast turnaround time. I shoot the baby in the morning, I edit that afternoon, and I give them their photos. I don't wait. You know, I give them their online gallery. I order prints for them.
How did you get to that point to be that efficient?
Because I'm anal.
Yeah, you can't stand loose ends.
No, I can't.
You have to have it done and out the door. There are a lot of people that struggle with this, and they stay up late editing, and there's several sessions behind or in the queue. I could never let that happen. Even when I shot 30 weddings, even double headers, the weddings had to be done and edited prior to the next wedding. Yeah. I couldn't do it.
I know.
Like, physically, my mind just didn't work that way.
I cannot relax.
Right. It has to be done. So you get it done all on the same day, so you're never, ever, ever behind. Never.
No, unless my computer crashes. I did that once, but that was one time.
And then you pick it back up and you're fine. Wow. What's some mistakes that you see other new photographers making that you would like caution them?
Like opportunity cost, like what we were talking about before. Like when you start out, you're like most people do start out like mom with a camera taking pictures of my kids. Oh, I'll make a couple extra dollars. That's how I started out. I think that's like how a lot of people start out. And you're just not realizing the opportunity cost. You're like, oh, okay, I'll just make enough money to pay for the camera. I'll make enough money to pay for the next lens. But like, what are you missing out on when you're doing that session for so cheap?
Yeah.
Time with your family. time by yourself.
Oh,
like, you know,
yeah, we talked about that. We value time. Yeah, we're very selfish. We value time to ourselves. We're a little bit independent that way. Yeah, and if you're missing out on that, I mean, that's priceless.
Yeah. So I mean, like pricing yourself correctly off the bat. And I know it's hard because you do have to build your portfolio.
Yeah, you have to gain experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, if you're a new photographer starting out, like, say, like, this is my summer special. First 5 people that book get this price, but these are my normal prices.
Yeah.
You know, don't work for cheap.
Yeah. That's what we do in the pricing workshop. We talk about setting a price. I'm just going to pull a number. Say you set your price at $500 and then you put like a line through it and you say, but now booking sessions for $250 or $150 for the first 5 people. And it's a special, but understanding that I value myself and I value my time. You know, when we sell Ella's cupcakes and a friend of mine was like, you know, I can't believe you're selling them for that much. And then another friend said, if there's one thing I know about Heather, she values her time. Because you can't get, I can always make more money.
Exactly.
I can't get more time.
That was the number one quote I remember Heather telling me, like, when I was first starting. She's like, what do you have more of, time or money?
Yeah,
and that's
always.
when I had a brand new baby, I had that other job, and I was like, well.
Yeah, and I say that for everything. That applies across everything. But people will come to me and say they want to learn photography, but they don't have the budget for classes or mentoring. And I said, that's fine, because if you have time, you can research it. And you can dig through YouTube and Google and find everything you need.
Everything is on YouTube.
Everything. But if you don't have time and you have some money, then just pay me to teach it to you.
Oh my God, that was the best decision I ever made at the beginning of my career. So much of my time has been saved by learning directly from you. I'm like a big in-person learner. So
hands-on.
Here, shooting with you, learning from you, learning Photoshop. I still use most of your Photoshop actions like every day, every session.
Oh, thank you. That skin softening, right, on the babies.
Yeah, I use portraiture, but then when, you know, some babies are...
challenging.
Yeah.
So what about,
powder them up.
You ever use that remove red? Do you have that one where I remove red?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I use it some.
Yeah.
There's a couple different ways because my babies are all crazy. I do a couple different things for the redness, but that's one of them.
Right. Thank you for saying so. Okay, what are you learning now? What's next for you?
Well, I think I'm going to keep things pretty status quo now because I like where I'm at. My son's going to kindergarten.
That's unbelievable.
I have to, like, there's like a small timeline of when you get him on the bus and then off the bus. So I don't really want to be that busy this winter. I want to be there for him getting on and off the bus. My daughter is still home. She's only 2. So I think for the winter, things are staying status quo. I do have a stylist that I will refer people to now if I ever do like a family shoot, which is not really very often.
Yeah.
Never really.
What does it take to
Gina?
get in? Gina. Yeah, I mentioned Gina last week. Yeah, Gina's great. What does it take to get a family session with you? Because you're pretty exclusive. Because I saw you just did one.
I just did one, and that is people. I photographed both of their babies, newborn 6 months, 1 year, and then I did a special shoot for them. I mean, and they've just become like they're like they drive from 2 hours to get to me. And I did love that session. Once I did it, I loved it, and so that made me think like maybe I do want to do a little bit more of this because it wasn't very structured. It was like we did a couple poses at the beginning, and I let the boys play, and their mom put them in these really cute outfits. And I liked the way it turned out. It was fun, and I liked those people. But it goes back to just not wanting to work evenings. So I don't really want to. Right. When else can you shoot a family?
Right. That's the best time, isn't the evening? So may I ask, do you charge a premium for that? Like if you don't want to do it, I always have I call it Heather's happy price. So I'll set a price that like if they pay, okay, then I'll work an evening, right? Yeah. But it's so rare that they do. So for instance, a family session for me is $1,200. I'll do a family session for $1,200, and you'll get 10 to 15 high resolution files. But how many people are going to book that? Very few. Yeah. But when they do, it's $1,000. I mean, I'll do it. So and obviously they value it at that point. Now, when you have relationships with clients like that, you kind of don't want to do that. You don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to overcharge them. They've already spent, so they've already had like 8 sessions with me in the last couple of years. So
do you do a referral program or anything or?
No, I've tried it before.
Too much to manage. Yeah. And you don't need to.
Yeah.
They give you referrals.
They kind of give me good referrals anyway.
Oh. When people come in, do you ask them, like, how they found you? Where predominantly are they coming from?
Yeah. Whenever somebody actually books their newborn session, I have them fill out a questionnaire, and that's one of the questions.
Yeah.
And it's either Google, Facebook, or just friend.
Yeah.
Those are the 3.
I'm always interested in that. I always ask people, how did you find me? Which I asked you at the beginning of this. I said, where did you find me? You did a Google search. But then I take it one step further and I ask them, why did you choose me? Because, it's a really good question because you can start to figure out what it is about you that they're attracted to. Because if they haven't met you, like if it's word of mouth, that's different because somebody recommended you. But if they're finding you on a cold Google search and they hire you, I really want to know why.
Yeah.
Like what?
Because there are so many.
Because there are so many. So you should add that on your form.
That's
like, why me? And you'll start to hear things that you never thought of. So the key to that is sort of putting that data together, compiling it, and looking at predominantly what are people saying, and then capitalizing on that strength. So figure out why me, and then you'll see the same thing. You'll see a pattern. Give it like 6 months to a year. You'll start to see a pattern, and then you're like, oh, that never would have occurred to me, so I'm going to capitalize on that, or I'm going to do more of that.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Yeah, why me? Look, and I just gave that for free.
You're welcome.
Right. Yeah, If you guys have any questions for Anne, please feel free to type them in the comments. How can people connect with you?
Facebook page, Anne Wilmus Photography, website.
Your website.
AnneWilmusPhotography.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram, but I'm not very active on there.
Yeah. And how far out are you booking right now? Like, where are you booking?
Into December. Like September, my summer I'm not taking anymore. We're going on vacation. I don't want to. I'm really full already, and I don't want to have to be too extra stressed on vacation about fitting in what I have to fit in because I don't have any control. You know, like
the due date.
That's the one thing about newborns that is a little bit stressful. Is like, you know, you think you're going to be good for the month, and then they all come in the same week.
Yeah. You have people early. How many do you do a week?
I like to work 3 days a week. That's my happy place, and I try to only do one session a day, but sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
You have to do more sometimes. Yeah. What's your max for the year? Or how many did you do last year?
I'll do a little over 100 for the last 2 years, newborns. But then every once in a while, too, I'm doing 6 months or 1 year. So that's when I get stressed, is when I start adding in those extra ones. That's what stresses me out. Newborns, I'm always fine with. It's like when I start adding extra, when I like. But then, you know, like you said, you have your happy price. So you're like, well, if somebody wants to pay me that, then I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah, it's worth it. 100 a year. But you're able to do that because you're so efficient. Mm-hmm.
And some of them, too, are like, I have what I call now a newborn mini session where it's only 10 photos, and it's a less than a 1 hour session. I'm doing all the posing on one blanket. I just add in a couple different accessories. There's no props. There's no siblings allowed, and it's $550, and that's about 2.5 hours of work total for me. So I might be shooting 100 newborns, but like some of them, like maybe 10 of them are going to be those tiny little sessions.
Right. And you're just knocking them out of the park. It's unbelievable. And in the meantime, you had moved, but you had established your studio in your basement of your first house, and then you moved your studio. How was that transition for you?
Well, we got really, really lucky because I never had to like rent studio space. Our guy that bought our house rented it back to us before we had we built our house, so it wasn't ready yet. So we had like 5 months where he rented it back to us. And I actually did think it like affected me a little bit because we moved. It was like 45 minutes away, still in the South Hills of Pittsburgh. But now we were right off the Bridgeville exit before. It was really easy for people to get to us, especially if they're coming from Wexford or Cranberry. And now I'm in Jefferson Hills, and it's kind of like a little bit out there.
A little bit.
So I did think it affected me a little bit at first, but now
But they still come.
They still come. Because you know what? I asked one of my clients that. Should I say their name?
Yeah.
They have 5 kids, the Richters.
Yeah.
And so I was photographing their 4th baby, and I was talking about like trying to move, and I was like, what do you think? Like, would you, like, how is that going to affect me? Because they're really smart people.
Yeah, they're great.
And they're like, people are only coming to you one time a year. They can drive 45 minutes or an
hour. If
they
really want you.
Yeah. And it's only one time a year.
And you have people coming from, I know at least 3 hours away. Amy came from Indiana.
Amy saw it.
Yeah, she came from far because she could have gone to anybody. So wow. You should feel awesome. Like so proud of what you've created from nothing to the unbelievable. You feel awesome about it, right?
You're making you for a whole lot of it.
I didn't do the work. Thank you for
saying you gave me the knowledge and like
I helped you get started for sure. You were really fun to teach because you listened. I would just tell you and you go done. Yeah. Like quit your job. Okay.
Like I said, anal.
Done.
Give me an instruction.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you did it. Yeah. Okay, there's a question from Ashley. She said, what did Anne start charging when she did newborns and what was included?
So when I first started doing newborns, $425 was my price, and that was like 25 photos and a 16 by 20 print. And then I quickly bumped it up from there.
Right.
Because that was
getting too
busy.
A lot of people have this concern that they can't charge that because they don't feel like they have enough experience or they're not good enough. How did you deal with those feelings of, you know, I kind of don't know what I'm doing, or I'm learning?
Somebody told me, like, perception is reality. And so if you are putting yourself out there as, like, you're really good, you're the best, like, people are going to believe that. And you might not be the best. You probably aren't the best.
Right.
But you just put yourself out there like that. And
right.
people are going to pay it. Like, because if people, I know people are always scared of, like, people aren't going to book me if I have too high prices. But it works the other way, too. People aren't going to book you if you have too low prices. They're going to think you're not good.
Right.
You know? There are some people, like, they're not going to carry a Kmart purse. You know, it's, you know, be the Coach purse, be the
Michael Kors.
Yeah.
Michael Kors has the prettiest pink purse right now. I looked at it. It's just too expensive. Like, I wouldn't buy that purse. But
work an extra day next month.
Right. What's that purse? I'll wait till it gets in Marshalls or something.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. There's a reverse psychology that's working there, and that if you're really expensive, people believe you're the best.
Yeah.
They sometimes won't even really look too much at your photos. They'll just think, oh, she's the most expensive. She must be the best done.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll buy it.
That's true.
Which is perplexing, but it's true. And then if you're too inexpensive, then they think, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's not any good. And the thing is, you can still, whether your photos are good or not yet, you can still provide an amazing experience. Regardless of, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And they buy what you believe. And if you believe in yourself, they'll believe in you, and then it works. It's all psychology, isn't it?
It is. And the good thing with newborn photos is, too...
Yeah. Sorry, phone rang. Yeah, everybody thinks their baby's cute.
Yeah, so I mean, so I think it's harder with, like, if you're doing, like, a family shoot or a wedding or anything that involves, like, an adult woman. Like,
yes.
She's going to be more critical of herself.
Yes, yeah,
and,
sure.
and then in turn of your photos, but with, like, newborn photos, everybody thinks their baby's cute, you know?
That's a really good point. I had never thought of that. Everybody thinks their baby's cute. No woman likes herself in photos, for the most part, but everybody loves their baby in photos.
Yeah,
so they can't screw it up.
Yeah, they're going to be less critical than other genres of photography.
That is hilarious. I had never thought of that. My friend Pam says, what happens when you have a newborn that won't settle?
It's happened only a couple times.
Yeah.
The shoot just goes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I swaddle them. They get the binky. I send parents a detailed list. I'm sure every newborn photographer on here does too. Like, bring a binky, feed them before you leave the house. Like, pretty much that's it.
Yeah.
And then bring more if you need it throughout the session.
Yeah.
And so usually the babies fall asleep on the car right there, and I usually just go. Like, that's
straight. You don't mess around.
No.
Yeah.
I've like, in 5 years, there's probably only been a couple babies that they had, like, gas pains. And what are you going to do? Baby has gas, baby has gas. Like, you just swaddle. I've never reshot.
So you think, well, how did you get so good at that soothing, swaddling, 5S thing? Like, how, just practice?
Yeah, I practiced doing so many newborns. I did take a workshop at one point with Laura Brett. She's in Atlanta, but I took the workshop in New Jersey. And then, watching YouTube videos.
Yeah.
There's a photographer in Ohio who, Andrea Kinter is her name. She has Periscope that she's on sometimes, and I like to watch her.
Yeah. So you get tips, but I find that Hannah and I did a newborn shoot recently, and she swaddled that baby so tight. Once that baby was swaddled, she was like set, like for indefinitely until we decided we wanted to change her look. Yeah, she was. I mean, we just passed her around, and she was great, Sophia. So just a tight swaddle really helps.
Yeah, space heater, noisemaker, binky. I know it's like controversial, but I tell people, even if you're not using a binky regularly, bring it for your session. I just might need to use it. Yeah, and you don't ever have to use it again.
Have you ever had a mom that's like, not doing the binky? No, they trust you. They trust you, which is really important. You build that trust, and then they'll listen. People say to me all the time, "How do you get brides to do what you want them to do?" And I'm like, they trust me. They're paying me a lot of money.
They've seen the photos. They're paying a lot of money. That's it. Like, if it means giving the binky for 2 minutes, and you paid $1,000, then you're going to give the binky for 2 minutes. Right.
What do your sessions include now? You do announcements?
I don't do announcements.
No, they do their announcements.
Yeah. If I don't do it as an add-on if they want me to, but I don't like doing it, so I don't do it.
I don't like doing it.
I do what's easy. Right. I give them a canvas for some. I have like 4 different package options. 2 of them include a canvas. They all include, except for the mini sessions, 5x7 proofs. Just because I want them to know what it is supposed to look like. Because there are so many with newborn skin tones. Labs just go so wrong. Yeah. So I want them to know what it's supposed to look like. So I will give them, like, whatever number 15 or 30, whatever they got in their package photos, they get a 5x7 copy of each of those photos, because I don't want them to think I did a bad job when they go to, like, Costco and get their pictures printed, and that's not how it really looks.
Yeah. I had a bride say to me once, "Why is my dress green in the photos?" And I was like, "Your dress is not green in the photos?" And then after some troubleshooting, figured out she was on an old monitor. Like, this is years ago. She was on an old monitor, and it was just it looked good. It had a green color cast too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was mortifying. And I always do proof books.
Freaking out.
Yeah. I'm like, no, your dress is not green. So I do proof books.
Yeah.
And now, for that reason, I want you to know what your photos look like professionally and good, and then you can do whatever you want. Something you said is so key. You said, I do what's easy, but you do what you want to do, what you enjoy doing. Yeah. And the things you don't enjoy doing, you just don't do them.
Exactly. I know there's like a big push right now to do in-person sales, which if that's what you want to do, that's great, but that's not what I want to do. I don't want to work in evenings, so,
you're not going to do it.
They get a disc, they get their proof, so they know what it's supposed to look like, whether they choose to print any further with me or with they want to go to Costco.
You don't care.
Yeah. Like it's worth, I've already got the money I needed out of that session.
Yeah, you're what I would call like me, a front-loaded photographer. Mm-hmm. You get all of your money up front, and then you deliver a certain set of whatever, products, packages, and then you're done.
Yeah.
And you move on to the next.
I'm anal. I want to be done. I want to go on to the
no
next one.
loose ends.
Yes.
Like no albums hanging out for 2 years waiting for people to get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to do it. This is really important because what we're establishing here is the fact that you've built, and our goal is to build a lifestyle business. Mm-hmm. And a lifestyle business is one that works for our lifestyle. And I don't want to work every weekend, and I don't want to work on the evenings, and I'm never going to work on a Sunday. Don't ever ask me for a Sunday, ever. And I used to. Never. I used to because I'm a people pleaser, and if somebody was like, I'm in town and I can only do Sunday, I'd be like, oh, okay. I'll do Sunday. But then I would, no.
I know, yeah.
No.
Like, why do I do Sunday?
Yeah. Oh, Taryn's here.
Hi, Taryn.
Taryn says she's curious if Anne has clients pick package before or after they've seen the gallery.
Before.
Yeah, you have it just, it's all set, all structured. Like, not even really a choice, really. It's just, this is how it is.
There's 3 packages and then that mini session I do. So I need to know if I'm shooting for 30 images or if I'm shooting for 15. Those are what's in my 2 packages, and then like a couple products here, like a canvas, and then the one package, which is like my higher one. It has some mini albums and some 8x10s in it too. So I just need to know what number of images I'm shooting for. So that's why they pick ahead of time. And what I'm editing, I don't want to edit if they're not going to get the images.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Right. How many do you normally photograph a full session? Like, you're narrowing it down to that number, but how many do you have to call?
About 150 to 200.
Yeah, depends.
Because just because I'm always worried about like, when you focus on a newborn's eyelashes, sometimes your camera does not focus as quickly and well as you wanted it to. So it's usually like 3 of the exact same images, and then I just have to pick the one that's in the most focus.
Yeah. Taryn says, so they only see what they get. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, that's it. The key to all of this, Anne, is that you figured out what you want. Mm-hmm. I always ask people when they come to me, well, what do you want? What do you want your business to look like? What do you want to photograph? What do you want to do? What do you want your life to look like? And you honed right in on it. This is what I want. This is what I want my life to look, and you made it instantly happen. Mm-hmm. And I attribute that to your focus, vision, clear. Yeah, you just know who you are and what you want. You're like secure and self-assured, like this is who I am, this is what I'm going to do, and you stay in your lane, and you don't get distracted by other photographers.
Yeah, I really try hard not to do that.
Yeah, you're not in any, you weren't even in my Facebook group until I added you today.
I saw that you tagged me, I'm like, this is something I should be in.
Yeah, and I try to keep our group very productive and friendly. You know, there are some groups that are not. But I've noticed that about you, is that you're like in your lane, super focused, hyper focused, just doing your thing and knocking it out of the park.
Thank you.
And who cares whatever anybody else does, right?
They can all be successful as long as I'm still successful.
And there's enough for everybody.
Yeah, I can photograph every baby in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right. So have at it. Are there any final questions? Brian says, they've been doing 3 digitals and they only get those. I'm tired of editing images of newborns that we don't give and they won't print. Right. So what's the point? Don't do it. Yeah, that's a good point. Brian's a friend of mine. He has a studio in Beaver Falls near like Geneva where Craig works. Oh. And yeah, that's awesome. Schneider Family Photography. Yeah, I really like them. Yeah, they love Jesus and I love Jesus. So we have that connection. Which, by the way, when I was saying, you know, how did you find me and why did you hire me? A lot of people have said to me, they hired me because I'm so outspoken about my faith. And do you know that for years I wouldn't say anything.
You were afraid to be controversial?
Yep.
I get that. I know. I limit myself to what I say.
Yeah, I'm worried what people would think, so I just kind of like, you know, keep safe, right? Yeah. Everything's safe. Yeah. And then I was like, I can't do this. This goes against what I believe. So I started talking about Jesus and I got more clients. And I'm sure that turned people away, but like Leanne says, when they meet you or go to your website, they should either love you or hate you. Yep. And if they love you, they're going to call you and hire you. And if they hate you, they're going to go elsewhere.
Right.
But if you're just kind of lukewarm, it's not interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. So I'm a big proponent of like, be who you are. Know who you are and then put it out there. Mm-hmm. Any final questions? Anne is here for the SEO workshop. We talked about that at the beginning. Leanne is on her way here. We have 5 other participants. And the key to the SEO workshop is how to get number 1 on Google, how to stay there and not pay for it.
Yeah.
Because you don't, besides like Facebook ads, you don't pay for any advertising, do you?
I do have a Google ad that I usually keep running just because I'm afraid that I am just going to, like, I have fear. I have such fear that I'm just going to go out of business one day. Like, I'm...
Yeah, and you know, you need not have that.
I don't
when you have that fear, you should boxer me and I'll say, what are you talking about? Look at your photos and they love you. You are 100% irreplaceable. They love you. So even if your photos...
the confidence she gets?
Yeah, even if the photos were like, if the style changed, right? Even if it was different, they want you. And you will always be available. I'm always available. So it's me, it's you. It's not the photos, because styles will come and go, things will change. They want you. So...
And people don't know what they're looking at when they look at photos anyway.
No.
They see a baby photo, like, that's cute, and it could be the really worst, like, technically posed baby.
You're like, wait, that's not cute.
Oh, yeah, but they don't know. So I guess you're right, they are kind of hiring you.
Yeah, they're hiring you. And I just saw Leanne pull up, so we're going to head into the SEO workshop, and if you have any other questions for Anne, please leave them in the comments, and she'll get back to you.
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie. Okay, I'll see you guys. Thank you.
Bye.